March is National Nutrition Month, and it's a time where everyone is encouraged to make some healthy food choices. But if you don't know when your next meal will be, that's the last thought on your mind, thinking about a balanced diet. So this morning we are joined by nutritionist Dr. Michael Puglisi from UConn to talk about the impact across the state and some programs that are available to help folks out. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, we are excited to jump right into this. Now, Michael, how big of a problem is this here in Connecticut?
It's a large problem. So what we find is, to your point, a lot of people are struggling to make ends meet. And when there's that financial stress and that food insecurity, that lack of an ability to access healthy food, what we find happening is people have to decide between paying the rent and getting healthy food, or paying utilities, paying for car payments. And what inevitably happens is people either go hungry or they shift towards less healthy, more accessible and cheap options, which can lead to risk for chronic disease. So the lower income populations in Connecticut end up having triple the risk of heart disease as well as diabetes in comparison to higher income populations. And this is not a trivial number. It can be up to about 500,000 of Connecticut residents that have this difficulty.
Wow, just think about that, 500,000. Now, we've talked about this on the show before, but some folks live in what's being called food desert, where it may not be easy for them to get those healthy food options. So how can they find healthy food options if they're not really, readily available or can't exactly afford them?
Sure. So there are resources out there. A few of them that we work with at UConn include a very important program. Connecticut Food Share has mobile food pantries throughout the state. And this is based on a schedule. So if you go to the Connecticut Food Share website, they will have throughout the state places that they go on usually a biweekly basis, where they offer foods that people can access for free. So in those, it's usually about an hour time frame. People can get fruits and vegetables as well as other foods, a lot of times dairy as well, milk and yogurt. So some pretty good options. There's also a food pantry schedule and also where people can find local food pantries on that website. And you can also access that via 211. So if you search either 211 online or call 211, there's some resources you can access through that as well. In addition to this, our programs, so I work in a program called the Expanded Food Nutrition Education Program, as well as SNAP Ed. We provide free classes to the communities on shopping on a budget, comparing prices, making sure that you're accessing healthy options. And also we do cooking and food preparation lessons in our classes. They're very hands-on so that people can learn to kind of stretch their food dollar and make the most of it, which is really important now with prices going up and, like you said, to that point, having limited resources and limited access to those foods. And in addition to that, there's a couple other resources. The Connecticut Milk Promotion Board actually has been able to provide coolers for food pantries. So sometimes when people think of food pantries, they think of kind of canned food and that kind of thing. But there's been a push to have healthier food options there as well. So getting to those resources as well is important. And signing up for SNAP. So End Hunger Connecticut, SNAP, are formerly known as food stamps. End Hunger Connecticut, their website has a lot of great resources to help people sign up for that crucial resource as well.
Great. Well, definitely some helpful tips, because a lot of folks are just struggling right now all across the board. Things cost a lot more, the access issues and all of that, but there are plenty of resources. Thank you for joining us this morning, Dr. Puglisi. There we go.
It's great. Thank you for having me.